What's going on, everyone? So today we are back with another set 2 deck, and it's Palp Green. I am very excited for this one because ever since Endless Legions was released, spoiled, I wanted to use this card and wanted to play with it. It's absurd for every sense of the reason, or every, way you can think about the word absurd. It's the most expensive card in the game. It is an absurd effect, and it basically wins you the game when you do play it. So our goal today is to play some Endless Legions and win the game with that card. So we're going to try to do that. And with that, let's go ahead and talk about the deck. If you want to pick up any of the set 2 cards, guys, or even set 1, I have a TCG play link in the description down below that if you use, it does help me out as well as help you out. Let's talk about a few things that you might recognize first off, and then dive into the new set 2 stuff. So you might notice kind of the similar to drop suite. We got the Ularans, we got the Shore Troopers. Ularans help us get to the late game. Shore Troopers, just become 4/3s, which is kind of nice, and help us trade with earlier units. V-Wings, really nice in Palp because it allows us to use the action if we need to do so, and replaces itself, which is kind of nice. We have our Royal Guards, which are really nice, and because of Royal Guard, we also have Piet, which is another official alongside Yularen to potentially get a turn to Sentinel out of the Royal Guards, and it also helps with like Reinforcement Walker, giving that ambush, and maybe one of our big space units ambush as well, but that's pretty unlikely. Reinforcement Walker coming down and being an ambush target also, though, is not unlikely. We have, the Star Vipers, the Super Laser Techs help us ramp and, give us a little bit of restore and some presence in space. We have Escort Skiffs as well. We're all green. This is essentially a 4/4 ambush, which is really important to help us get to that mid game. We got OBs, Overwhelming Barrages, to kind of clear out the board. And then we got Traitoresses to kind of clear out some of the early game threats. There's a lot of upgrades running around now, so Traitoress actually rose a lot in value. We have the Reinforcement Walkers, Relentlesses, Devastators as sort of end game threats that we can also flip over with Endless Legion. Darth Vader, we actually are running a lot of Villainy 3 or less drops, so it actually does have a lot of hits, and it also gives us a Sentinel most often with the Vader, so that actually is extremely relevant. But then we have, our ramp packages and resupplies, command, and with the set 2 cards, we also have Price on Your Head, which is another ramp card that allows us to kind of accelerate into Palpatine, which is also really important, but also just into the late game. Phase 3 Dark Troop is a new one. Better cell block guard. Love that thing. We also have Maul as a really nice ambush target later on. We have the Finalizer, which is kind of a little bit of a meme. I just want to flip over a Finalizer and steal all our opponent's units. That just seems really sweet to me. I have a very, very... I should say it's very unlikely that that's actually going to be really good for us if we just play the Finalizer, but we'll see. That's kind of what we have it in the deck. I've played around a lot with this, and Finalizer hasn't really come up too often yet, but maybe we'll change things here. And of course, Endless Legions to make it all work. If we're able to play Endless Legions, we can flip over Reinforcement Walkers, Relentlesses, Devastators. We're going to heal a bunch. We're going to be able to prevent them from doing anything, and we're going to do some massive work. Between Command, Resupply, Super Laser Tech, and Price on Your Head, we have 12 ramp cards, so we should really have a chance of actually playing Endless Legions, but it's going to take some time, and we're going to see if we can do it here. Let's dive into some games, and let's play some Endless Legions. Looks like our first game starts off against Boba Green, so a pretty sweet one. We do have the Endless Legions in hand, but we have no ramp. We have a pretty bad kind of curve here. We have essentially 3 unplayable cards for the vast majority of the game. So I think this is going to be a pretty easy mulligan. And, unfortunately, we drew into, kind of equally weak hand. No ramp cards, a couple of very expensive stuff. I think we go and resource the Devastator or Relentless, and we will hopefully rely on this Shore Trooper getting the job done. I'm going to go and play that before the Piet because there's a better likelihood that we can actually do something with the Shore Trooper. Here, we got a Super Laser Tech and a Phase 3 Dark Trooper. Those are the type of cards that I really like to see. I think I'm going to go ahead and go with a Super Laser Tech because it allows us to play Traitoress the following turn. And I do like that instead of the Phase 3 Dark Trooper. Of course, depending on what happens here, we might, change our minds. Let's go ahead and play a Super Laser Tech here. And then, depending on what they play, I will go ahead and hit their Piet here because we can, use our Super Laser Tech to kill the Piet, and we do want the Super Laser Tech to actually die here. So that's going to give us the option to actually play our Traitoress. Here's our Yularen. I think this is a pretty easy Yularen plus resupply. This is a pretty easy Yularen resource. I do want the resupply in hand because it's going to give us the option to get to Endless Legions and earlier Palp. And of course, this Vader that's sitting in hand, which looks not super strong. Let's go ahead and kill their Piet, get 5 resources. Now we have Traitorous available to us as well if they end up playing any sort of 3-drop or so. Also, if we play a resupply, it becomes a 4-power Shore Trooper, which is pretty nice. They played a Yularen. I think in this spot, I'm just going to resupply. That's going to make a 4-powered Shore Trooper, and then we can follow up with Darth Vader the following turn. And I think I will just go ahead and trade with the Yularen, and assuming they don't play anything else or something like that. Kind of interesting. They got Yularen and Piet in their Bosk deck. I'm not a huge fan of Piet in the Bosk green. They have an ECL though, and this is probably pretty good for us. Yeah, they're ECLing out a Shore Trooper. Like, that is extremely weak. And they only did this because, well, they don't want their Yularen to die. But using their ECL on a Shore Trooper is like exactly what we're looking for, right? Ooh, there's an Endless Legions. Okay. Let's go ahead and put a Phase 3 Dark Trooper down into our resource pile. If we get to Endless Legions, we're flipping over Devastator, Relentless, Yularen, Piet, Super Laser Attack, and a Dark Trooper. But we're just going to slam Darth Vader here. Let's go ahead and get that Phase 3 Dark Trooper. That's exactly what I was looking for. Let's go ahead and just kill the Yularen, and we are in a very, very good spot now. Because we can, well, ideally, play initiative, and then we get to go ahead and just kill their Bosk with our Vader, and then replay Vader, which is going to be pretty awesome. They get to go ahead and double resource here, which, of course, is nice. But, I mean, it's not really that big of a deal. Okay, we have a Price on your head, plus another Vader. We have Maul in hand. Traitorous looks pretty good against the Consortium Star Viper. I actually want to go with Price on your head onto Bosk, kill it, and then Traitorous the Consortium Star Viper. This is going to help us reach Endless Legions, guys. That's our goal. If I was playing for real, I probably would have just kept Maul, killed Bosk with Maul, and resource the Price on your head, and then just hit them for 5. But, you know, this is going to be pretty nice. We're going to be able to kill their Bosk, get a Price on your head. And here we can just go ahead and Traitorous the Consortium Star Viper. So pretty nice there. That's going to give us a lot of value. We'll go ahead and hit. And then we're going to go ahead and deal damage. Sacking the Vader to hit their Steadfast Battalion for 1. Take their Steadfast Battalion. Hit them for 4. So now we have Steadfast Battalion plus our leader out. And we have our Star Viper. I mean, we're going to win the game before we can even go ahead and take advantage of Endless Legions. This is part of the problem, guys. It's part of the problem. Let's go ahead and resource a Vader here. And, I mean, we're technically pretty close to, you know, getting down our Endless Legions. But, you know, I mean, we're just going to go ahead and hit them for 1 million with the Steadfast Battalion. It's got Overwhelm, pretty easy attack there. And I don't really see them doing anything to try to stop it. Like, I don't really see them winning in any sort of way here. Sweet to go. V-Wing, Reinforcement Walker. Don't draw it. We get to heal. And there's a Finalizer. That is awesome. We get to Finalizer. I mean, we made it to 11 resources. That's something, you know. That is something. The game's over. Palpatine, when we get to this stage, I mean, it is, like, very easy to get through everything. But, hey, I mean, if they let us play a Finalizer, I will play a Finalizer. Come on, let us play the Finalizer. Oh, they're playing the Rolling Barrage. Sure, whatever. You got me. What are they gonna kill? I mean, they have to kill Steadfast Battalion because we just kill them if they don't. Sure. Yep. Doesn't really matter. We just kill them. I don't want to draw command. I get to heal. Like, the game is so over. But I suppose our opponent wanted to play their Overwhelming Barrage. Pretty sweet. I mean, that was Palp Ramp. You know, that wasn't anything too crazy. Again, that turn where I was like, okay, I suppose I'll play Price on Your Head and Traitorous. I probably should have just gone with the Vader play or the Maul play and then just closed out the game. Because I wasn't really under any threat. You know, we were at like, what, 11 damage. Like, we could have closed out the game very quickly. But we also got to, you know, do the whole sack something, get your Steadfast Battalion, which we could have done anyways, but, you know, we could have won in a million ways after that early game. Opponent playing Piet into ECLing a Shore Trooper in our Shore Trooper. Like, as soon as I saw that Shore Trooper ECL, I was like, okay, this game is over. On to game number 2 against Vader Green. And this is a pretty decent hand, actually. We can go ahead and resource. I mean, we could technically resource Ulard and Relentless and just go all in and try to ramp. I think that's a little bit high rolling, but you know what? As I said, we're trying to play Endless Legion. So we're going to go ahead and do that. That's our goal today, right? I hope they have a turn 1 play. If they don't, then this is real sad. I'm going to be honest. I suppose it's not like the worst because we do get the option to, you know, not get hit, which is kind of cool. Let's go ahead and Price on Your Head. And they get to see my full ramp hand. And they pass, or take initiative, and we pass. We get to go resupply, and then probably resource a Piet. Pretty easy. Oh my gosh, they put a fallen lightsaber on this guy. That's awesome. So fat Imperial probe droid for sure. We get to go probably resource the V-Wing at this point, and we get to go Star Viper, Price on Your Head. So now if we take initiative, we can Overwhelming Barrage the Viper Probe Droid, and we get to flip Palp next turn. Awesome. We're going to claim initiative. We get to kill the Probe Droid. There's a Traitorous. I think we go on and resource the Traitorous at this point. So here, we just deal all 5 here. Get the double ramp, and now we have... well, a lot of options. I'll say that much. Fallen lightsaber. All right, let's attack for 5. Get ourselves a little bit of restoration going. They get to go deal 6. Huh. Okay, so they... oh, wait. Whoops. I didn't mean to do that. I meant to deploy. We're going to go ahead and deploy the Palp to steal their 5th brother. So they decided to go ahead and use the action here to deal additional damage to us. But for those of you that don't know, 5th brother says 1 damage to this unit and 1 damage to another ground unit. So it has to be something else. If they don't have another target, like on our side of the battlefield, they have to kill their own unit. And that's what they decided to do. That's probably a big mistake because... there was 2 options there. Either I just flip Palp and steal their 5th brother if they do that, which is terrible, right? Or they don't do that, and we have to defeat our Star Viper to deal a damage to 5th brother, and then we flip Palp to take it. So that's still, like, not great for them, but they would have had a Death Star Stormtrooper out, and I probably would have attacked it with Palp. So I would have been at 19 damage on my base, or 18 damage on my base, and then I also... would have not had a Star Viper, and I also would have had 3 damage on Emperor Palpatine, is kind of how that would have resulted after all of that. So we still would have been in amazing spots. Like, I think the game's probably win, like, we just win, because our hand, I mean, is OB plus all these great cards, and I don't really know how they get back from that. But yeah, I didn't expect Fallen Lightsaber on a Probe Droid. That was kind of crazy. All right, and next matchup is against Double Blue Iden. This is the kind of matchup where this deck is going to excel. We have a Super Laser Tech and a Price on Your Head. Price on Your Head's pretty weak in this matchup, I would say. So I think I'm going to mulligan this and try to get something a little bit better. All right, I mean... it ended up being extremely weak. So unfortunately for us, we don't really have anything to play. We're just going to claim initiative. Looks like they had an Inferno 4, so Price in Your Head would have been reasonable. Very reasonable. We're just looking for ramp here. We're just looking for ramp, and we missed it. Are you joking, man? We have so many ramp cards. I guess I should have kept that first hand, but we're going to go ahead and play a Star Viper, and then they're probably going to kill it. That's fine. And then we're going to take initiative, and we're going to see what we can do here. Deal 2, claim initiative. They kill something. Sure. We just need ramp. Command. Okay, command is not bad. I think we just play an escort skiff here. Just use our resources. I suppose we could play a Star Viper. No, I'm going to play the escort skiff. And if our opponent wants to kill it, that's fine. We're going to claim initiative. Command is just going to essentially be draw us a card, draw one of the cards that they've killed, and get a resource, which is not bad. Phase 3 Dark Trooper coming back here. I think I'm going to go ahead and resource probably the escort skiff at this point. And I can go Yularen plus Star Viper. It's a little double play here. Not bad, not bad. Vanquish. Claim initiative. And then there's a Relentless, as well as Vader. I think I want to keep the Vader and the Relentless in hand. Command looking pretty reasonable. Let's go ahead and attack here. Start us off. Regional Governor. What are you naming? Vader. Let's go ahead and resource and return a unit. It's going to return escort skiff. Claim initiative. And, ooh, price on your head. Super laser tech. Interesting. Interesting. I think we get rid of the Phase 3 Dark Trooper at that point then. And I think we just go with price on your head on the regional governor. And we get to go ahead and escort skiff. Yeah, why not? Let's go ahead and ambush, kill it, get an extra resource. Let's go ahead and attack their base for 2. Okay. And then they're going to go ahead and we're just going to claim initiative. They have 7 resources. Ooh, Devastator, double Vader. I mean, this is getting kind of crazy. We kind of do want to find our Endless Legions. So let's ambush the Iden. And we're going to go ahead and play a super laser tech. So if they overrule or orbital super laser blast, they kill everything. Sure. Don't really care about that, to be honest. Let's go ahead and attack with Yularen. And they're going to claim initiative. That's fine. And, ooh, we drew viewing. I think I actually resource. Okay. I'm not going to resource the Devastator in preparation of getting Endless Legions, but. Oh, they're going to search your feelings. Interesting. Let's go ahead and hit with Yularen. So here, what I'm kind of looking at is I would like to go ahead and try and set up a situation where I can play Endless Legions and get a lot of value for it. And just flip over like a massive chunk of cards. That's kind of the idea. I know I can play Relentless and remove kind of their a lot of their options. They're gonna name Vader. All right, cool. Let's go ahead and attack. They're going to stall here with the action. Okay, that's fine. Let's go ahead and let's deploy Palp here. Take the Inferno 4. I'm trying to force out some cards here. All right, that's exactly what I was kind of hoping for. Super Laser Blast. We play a Relentless here, and now they're kind of stuck. So I could have played Relentless before and then forced them to do something else, but I'm trying to stall out the game for Endless Legions. I know I could have played Relentless and probably have won the game by this point, but I'm trying to play Endless Legions, guys. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to play Endless Legions and win the game. It's going to be sweet. Make an opening. All right, let's hit them with the Relentless for 8. Rivals Fall. All right, let's play a Reinforcement Walker, and I would love to draw a Patrolling V-Wing. Let's play a V-Wing. Let's play... You know what? We can play the Star Viper as well. Not really a reason not to. If they go Overwhelming Barrage again, that's fine. Totally fine. Let's not resource anything. We can rebuild if they, you know, have something. They're not going to... Okay. We're just going to Overwhelming Barrage and kill the Childson, since we don't really have any other, you know, thing going on. And I guess we win the game and we didn't find our Endless Legions? No. This would have been the matchup, guys. This matchup feels like a complete, like, they can't do anything to us. Honestly, like, I think Regional Governor is really bad, to be honest. Yes, I want to draw some cards. And that's going to be a good game. All right. I mean, I tried to get to Endless Legions, guys. We were at 15 resources. But what can you do? What can you do? All right. And on to the next game. We are against Kira Green. I had to take a little bit of a break because for some reason, all of the ambush cards just stopped working. So I decided to go ahead and just take a break, and we're popping back in here. This hand has no ramp, and guys, we're trying to cast an Endless Legion. I want to get an Endless Legion cast some point today. This is a okay hand. It's honestly not that great. We'd probably go like turn 1 Shore Trooper or V-Wing into, you know, Escort Skiff a little bit later on. We would do the other one at another time. Maybe Lauren turn 1. I think we could do a little bit better than that. Well, it's not that much better, but it is a little bit better. Here, I'm going to go ahead and resource the Piet and a Traitorous, as I'd rather have just a little bit higher power here. Looks like they played a Hylobon Enforcer. Okay, we're going to go ahead and just play a Shore Trooper. They're probably going to go ahead and deal 2 damage to it to give it a shield, and we're just going to go ahead and claim initiative. And that's a resupply, so I'm happy to go ahead and take that. And remember, we could go ahead and just take this from our opponent a little bit later on, or anything else that they decide to play. I think in this spot, I'd rather keep the viewing because we can help ping something down, draw a card, and I'm probably just going to go ahead and, well, hit them here and then resupply. They're going to hit us for 3, so it's going to be pretty nice for them, I will say. It'll be pretty nice. What do they play? A Pike Sentinel. All right. Yeah, really not that scared of a Pike Sentinel, to be honest. They can give it a shield. They can make it a 2-1 shielded, but that's really not all that scary. And as I mentioned, we could always steal their Hylobon Enforcer. It's going to be a 2-1 shielded. Nice. Okay. Here we have a command, so we can deal some damage if we would like to. We can give some experience tokens if we would like to. I think in this spot, I'm actually going to go ahead and resource the V-Wing. And I could Traitorous, which is okay. I'm kind of tempted to just Traitorous here. It's a little bit awkward, but it prevents us from taking a whole lot of damage, and we get the Sentinel shield up character, which is kind of nice. And we could also claim this bounty potentially that our opponent has on the Hylobon Enforcer, which would also be pretty nice. Brutal Traditions. Okay. Let's just go ahead and attack that Hylobon Enforcer to get rid of the shield. And then we're going to go ahead and kill the Enforcer, draw a card. That was very favorable for us. The Brutal Traditions, they could go ahead and play this. if they ever defeat an enemy of our units. But honestly, what they got going on there is really not scary at all. So here we have resupply. We can go command shore trooper. I think command shore trooper looks pretty good in this spot, so I'm going to go ahead and go with that. It allows us to potentially get some experience tokens and ramp, but we're going to go ahead and ramp for sure. And at worst, I'll just return one of the shore troopers to my hand. Having a high amount of, let's go experience and resource. But having a high amount of cards in hand is always good in this deck because we're trying to resource every turn. So just having more options to go ahead and resource is pretty important. They can go ahead and deal 1 damage to give their Inferno 4 a shield or their Scout Bike Pursuer. Regardless, Kira is really bad into Overwhelming Barrage. So that is pretty exciting for us. Here is a seasoned shore trooper, and I don't know about what they decided to do there, or Relentless, because what we could do here is just flip Palpatine and take their Scout Bike Pursuer, which looks pretty reasonably appealing. We could also just straight up kill their units and resupply. Yeah, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and Overwhelming Barrage and kind of kill everything here. We're going to go 1 here, or let's see, we have 8, so it's 3, 3, 2. So we go 2 here, 3 here, 3 here, kill your whole team, and now we have an 8-7. So if they decide to go ahead and put Kira on the battlefield, then, well, we're sitting quite pretty, I'm not gonna lie, guys. And we could also resupply, which sets us up for potentially a Devastator next turn if we happen to draw it. They're gonna Overwhelming Barrage. Let's just go ahead, and this backside, I believe, flips, and it's gonna heal all of us. So we're just gonna deploy, take their Scout Bike, and boom, look at that. We now have 13 17 damage to their base. Okay, they're gonna take initiative. We're gonna go kill, hit. We don't need to defeat anything, and then we resupply. And ooh, there's an Endless Legions. All right, guys, we need to start resourcing some of these fatties. Let's go ahead and get down to Maul, because I think I'd rather have Darth Vader. I have a feeling they're gonna go ahead and like kill everything here. We'll see. They're going to deploy Kira. All right, well, we're just going to go ahead and ambush. And we're going to get a super laser tech, which is going to set us up for Endless Legions. I mean, the game's over, right? Like, I mean, we're just going to win before we get to Endless Legions. It's a sad day, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and defeat the super laser tech, draw an extra card. Oh, man, we're so close, though. We're so close. Hit for 3, pass. We can resource whatever. It doesn't even matter at this point. Let's go ahead and resource the Yularen. There's an Academy Defense Walker. Okay. I think I'm just going to go ahead and hit for 5 here. And then we just win the game. I mean, it is what it is. Pretty sweet deck for our opponent, I'm not gonna lie. I like Kira, I think it's cool, but it is really not that great against us. Sure, we'll take a Dark Trooper, we'll ambush the Pike Sentinel. The game's over. They keep trying to play Sentinels, but game is over, and we'll defeat the Dark Trooper. Man, we were so close. We were this close to getting the Endless Legions, guys. We were at 12 resources here, which is pretty sweet. So let's go on to the next one. On to the next one, guys, and we are against Bosk Green. Now, you might notice I'm in the bottom right-hand corner, and that's because I realized while I was recording, a little while ago, Carabas changed where the resources were, so it's in the bottom left now. And since this deck is so heavily important on looking at resources, and in general, it's pretty important to look at resources, I figured I'd move myself to the bottom right and see how that ends up playing out. I think that looks quite a bit better. We have kind of the ramp hand. We have Price in your head into Super Laser Tech into Command. Now, Command and Super Laser Tech's really good together, and we're going to resource a Piet and a Reinforcement Walker here. But the reason why is because they're going to claim initiative. All right, well, that's okay with us. Because you go Super Laser Tech into Command, which allows you to potentially give like experience tokens to Super Laser Tech and ramp, and then you could just trade your Super Laser Tech with something that they got going on over there. Let's go ahead and get down the V-Wing into the resource pile. They're going to play a phase 3 Dark Trooper. We're going to play a Super Laser Tech, and I am pretty happy with what's going on here. They're going to claim initiative, and then we get a couple different cards that look okay. They can put a bounty on something, and like they can put a bounty on my Super Laser Tech if they wish. They can also just kill it with the phase 3 Dark Trooper. Try to get an experience token. Jango Fett. Okay, let's go ahead and do experience resource. So now we're going to be up to 7 resources. That's going to be awesome. Boom. Kill their Dark Trooper. Pass. And now we're kind of setting up for a pretty nice couple of plays here. We can go Escort Skiff and Star Viper in this turn. We can also go Shore Trooper Traitorous. We have a couple different options. I think we can safely get rid of one of these Shore Troopers. They're going to activate Bosk. Okay, let's go Star Viper. They may put a bounty on something. Let's go Escort Skiff. That could be a little scary depending on how many bounties they have. You know what? We're gonna risk it. I'm gonna deal some damage to Jango because we can go price on your head, flip Palp, and then set up for a pretty nice Jango. Ooh, they're gonna overwhelming barrage. Okay, that is perfectly fine with me. I'm a lot less scared of the overwhelming barrage comparatively. I think we could go to resource, probably just a Shore Trooper. And then we immediately just flip Palp, take their Jango. And then we could set up a situation where we price on your head the Bosk and then attack it with Jango. Okay, they're overwhelming barrage again. That's funny. Sure. Yeah. You could do some damage here. Let's go Star Viper. They're probably going to want to kill Palp. Yep. And then we get to go price on your head. Claim initiative. Double overwhelming barrage against us is really not where our opponent wants to be. And trying to kill our units is also not where our opponent wants to be. Because we're going to be ramping. And it's going to be pretty nasty for them. We have a Maul here. Ooh, we can Maul. I'm going to keep the resupply, guys. Normally I wouldn't, again, because I think it's better to just go ahead and play out our units, and we don't need the extra resources unless we're getting like exactly endless legions. But you know, let's go ahead and attack for 3 here. Gladiator, Star Destroyer. Well, we're gonna claim initiative, and we're gonna Devastator you next turn. That's gonna be pretty nice. Endless Legions? This is a matchup that I think we actually have a good chance of maybe getting the Endless Legions off. You know what? I'm going all in. This is wrong, but we can go Devastator, and then next turn we can double ramp. I should have kept the Reinforcement Walker. I know. Let's claim initiative. They have them all. They're going to do some damage to us for sure. Ooh, that's a phase 3 Dark Trooper and a Relentless. Let's go to resource the Dark Trooper. Let's just start off by... Oh, wait, what? Oh, they resource something. All right, we're going to claim initiative. And then they're trying to change what they resourced. But I think we just go with the attack with the Devastator. It's a little bit sad to do that, but, you know, what can you do, guys? What can you do? And now they have to have an answer to Devastator. Attack with a Star Viper. I decided not to take initiative because there's a lot of different things that they could have here. Let's go Super Laser Tech. I don't want to take initiative because I feel like they could have something, and then it could throw off our entire game, and we could potentially lose. So now they're going to claim initiative. So we get to go defeat, deal a damage to Dengar. We drew a Vader. Vader's pretty good here. I think we just drop a Vader and get a Royal Guard. We'll ambush. We will hit the Dengar, and then we're going to pass. And this would have been the turn, guys. Look at how many things we would have gotten with the Endless Legions. Man, we were this close. All right, well, our opponent's got to have something pretty good. All right, well, they don't have anything, so we'll win the game. All right, well, we won the game. We would have been able to use the Endless Legions. But again, every single situation that we could have played Endless Legions, we could have just won the game, and we usually did. So let's keep going. On to the next one. And unfortunately, we're against Sabine Green, so I don't think we're going to get to Endless Legions today. This looks like an okay hand. We do have the Yularen on turn 1, which is usually pretty relevant. Resupply is usually pretty weak. Same with the Han Green game. Like, you don't really want to be resupplying, so we're going to resource that. I'm going to go ahead and resource one of these V-Wings, and we're just going to start off with, well, a Yularen. House Cast Soldier is like the equivalent of a Rebel Pathfinder, but worse, generally speaking, because Rebel Pathfinder has so many more synergies with kind of all the Rebel cards, of course. So I'm very happy to see that. Emperor's Royal Guard is the ideal play directly after our Yularen here, so that's really nice to see. And I think I'm just going to drop that. We can go Yularen into Royal Guard, into Escort Skiff, and that's the kind of hand, if they go into the ground arena, where we can actually win, right? That's kind of what we want to be doing. Of course, they could use their ECL here, and if they do, then honestly, I'm really not that afraid. Kind of happy with that. Let's go ahead and just let them attack. And we're going to go ahead and play a Royal Guard, which is going to be sentineled up. And then we could also go attack their soldier, play Super Laser Tech next turn, and then go ahead and defeat it with Palp's ability and shoot their soldier. Oh, Mercenary Gunship. All right, that changes things. I'm just going to take control of Mercenary Gunship. I don't really see a reason not to be honest. That just seems like a very, very clear play. And apologies, Endless Legions. We're not going to get to you, unfortunately. So we can take control. Actually, should we take control of the Mercenary Gunship? Regardless, I didn't want to attack because I wanted to take initiative. But if we take control of the gunship, they can also take control of the gunship. I think I just go ahead and make our trades here and not worry about the Mercenary Gunship right now. Because I have some really powerful things to deploy on this turn. So we're going to get Super Laser Tech down. And if our opponent plays Sabine, they can't get through Emperor's Royal Guards. They probably have to ECL like a K2SO out. And if they do, well, perfect. We get to go ahead and defeat our Super Laser Tech to kill it. So they kind of need to ECL something out here. Because if they just go ahead and do this, then we get to go ahead and hit the Sabine with Yularen, and they're going to put a Darksaber on it. Okay, well, that is something. We're going to go ahead and kill this to defeat, or to deal with damage to Sabine. And yeah, they can go ahead and hit my Royal Guard. But I mean, look at this like game state. We are massively ahead at this point. We can go Overwhelming Barrage. We can go Escort Skiff. They said that was a wasted Darksaber. Well, a little bit. Let's go Overwhelming Barrage and just kill these two. And now we're on 4 damage, 6 resources, and we can even defeat this Yularen to draw a card. Timely Intervention. Wow. That's horrible for them. And Daring Raid, yeah, I mean, we are like immensely ahead at this point. We can go ahead and probably get rid of this Relentless and just play a Darth Vader. I want to pass here. I don't really see a reason not to. We could go like Yularen into Star Viper, but we're just going to go ahead and Vader this. And look at that, Super Laser Tech. Let's go ahead and pick up that. I could go ahead and take a Piet to try to set up a Reinforcement Walker ambush. But honestly, I just want to get more resources out there. Let's go ahead and get rid of probably the Star Viper at this point, because we've lost initiative. There's a very weak chance that we'll get it back. They could still do things like Wrecker, right? Like that's a super strong play. That would be pretty scary, right? They go Wrecker, defeat a resource, kill my super laser tech, and kill my Vader, and then also hit me. Right? And that's exactly what they're doing. They're not ECLing it though, which is a little bit strange. I would have expected them to ECL that, but that's okay. We're going to go ahead and play a Yularen so we can heal for 1. We're going to escort Skiff, hit the Wrecker, and then we're going to kill the Wrecker with a super laser tech. And then we're going to go ahead and play a Piet. I could have flipped Palp, but honestly, I don't really see a reason to yet. I'm kind of stalling a little bit, so maybe we could get to the Endless Legions if we draw it. This game's kind of over. Like, I don't really see us losing at all. We even have the Piet plus a Reinforcement Walker kind of combination now, so the game is kind of just slowly closing itself up around our opponent. I would have expected them to ECL the what's it called, the Wrecker. Let's just go Reinforcement Walker. Let's just draw command. And pass. It's kind of awkward that like we're playing against Sabine Green and we're playing a Reinforcement Walker and just choosing to draw a card. Like that is pretty crazy. They're gonna kill Yularen. They're gonna be able to search the top 10, and they got a Sabine. Okay, cool. Yeah, let's just attack with Piet, and we're slowly just gonna win this game, huh? That's a Spark of Hope. All right, Spark of Hope is pretty mediocre here. Let's just go command resource return a unit, and we're gonna return the Vader to our hand. And then we can go command, return a unit resource, put a Yularen into play. And I know I haven't flipped Palpatine, but like I want to get to Endless Legions. That's kind of the point, right? Let's go get a Yularen. Let's play the Yularen. Let's attack. Let's draw the Yularen and then pass. Come on, where's my Endless Legions? I know there's one in the resource pile. Let's go ahead and resource and escort Skiff here. I mean, we've won for sure. Yes, we want to draw Darth Vader. Come on. Come on, get me to the Endless Legions. No, where's my Endless Legion? I know I'm trolling, guys. I know. Come on, where's my Endless Legion? Where's the Endless Legion? I just want to play it once, okay? I mean, I'll finish this game. It is what it is. The game is over. We've won. Maybe I'm trolling my opponent a little bit too hard here. Apologies for the BM, my friend over here, but oh, they disconnected. I'll show you guys. Let me just they disconnected. So I might have trolled him a little bit too hard. Apologies, opponent. I didn't mean to do it. I just want to play my Endless Legions. It would have been so sweet. Look at how many things we would have gotten. We would have gotten a Super Laser Attack, a V-Wing, another Super Laser Attack, a Relentless, Escort Skiff, Dark Trooper. Oh, we were so close. And we're back hitting against another aggressive Han Green deck. We're going to go ahead and mulligan this. This one's a pretty bad hand. Unfortunately for us, we mulligan it into arguably an even worse hand. We're going to go and resupply or resource the resupply and probably the other resupply. We just have to take initiative on turn 1, which is like really, really bad. They're going to go ahead and deploy something. It's going to be a Reckless Gunslinger with Spark of Hope. That was pretty cool. I've not seen that before. I like that. I like that. So they got to Reckless Gunslinger, kill their own unit, and then they put it into a play as a resource. So they essentially got turn 1 ramp, and then they're going to recruit. So it looks like it gets more of a mid-range Han Green deck. So maybe this hand's going to be a little bit better. We're going to be able to go ahead and go command this turn. So we're just going to claim initiative here. And the thing that, oh, and a resupply. Okay, yeah. They're going to get Han down, and they're going to hit us. Yeah. Sweet. Here, I think we just go probably just command, and then we can probably resource the Royal Guard at this point, but let's go ahead and deal damage to the Han draw a card, get a resource, then we can go command return the super laser tech, or instead, oh man, for some reason I thought we could actually return the super laser tech, but it becomes a resource. So that was actually kind of a mistake. Instead, I think we actually just go price on your head plus Shore Trooper. I think that's actually a little bit better in this spot. Let's go Shore Trooper. And then they're going to take initiative. And we're going to be able to have a 4-3 Shore Trooper here. Probably resource this Yularen. Hopefully they don't have like an ECL here. That would be a little bit sad. Okay, they're gonna defeat my what's it called? My Shore Trooper. So we're gonna go resource and return a unit to our hand. And that's gonna put us at 7. We're gonna play a Shore Trooper. And we're gonna claim initiative. And then we get to go probably Overwhelming Barrage. I think Overwhelming Barrage is kind of where we want to be. Let's go Overwhelming Barrage. Let's kill Han. We're going to deal 1 here, 5 here. So we can go and steal the Echo Base Defender at this point if we would like to. Although I'm a little bit worried about like a Crate Dragon. That's kind of what I'm most worried about. Timely Intervention, a super laser tech. Okay. That is fine with me. I'm actually worried about a Crate Dragon. I kind of want to keep the ability to steal it with Palpatine. So I'm going to go ahead and just let that be here. That is exactly what I'm worried about. Boom. We're going to be able to deal 1 damage to the Crate Dragon and then steal it. That's exactly what I thought was going to happen, and we're going to be able to take the Crate Dragon. Boom. Take your Crate Dragon, play a Reinforcement Walker, don't draw the Star Viper, attack, no defeats, and yep. Got exactly what I wanted done, and now we are like basically impossible to lose. It's basically impossible to lose, because now if they play a Crate Dragon, we get to go ahead and play a Devastator. So that's going to be pretty nice. But yeah, that's exactly why I didn't want to flip Palpatine for the Echo Base Defender. It's because I expected them to play a Crate Dragon. You know, the Han green, if you're playing things like Price on Your Head or Spark of Hope and Resupplies, and you're playing red, the immediate thought is Crate Dragon, right? Like that's the payoff. And if we hadn't done that, you know, and we had stolen the Echo Base Defender, what I could have done, right? I would have just played a Devastator this turn, and I would have been smacked for 10, which would have been pretty scary. But oh, look at that. Our opponent disconnected again because we stole their Crate Dragon. Well, I mean, no Endless Legions, but we got there with a W on the stealing of Crate Dragon. But anyways, that's gonna be a nice little game against Han Green. Let's do one more and let's wrap up. All right, and for our last game, we're against Krennic Green, and well, looks like a fine hand. We got the mono ramp hand, which I am excited about, and this list usually plays super laser tech, and so I'm gonna go ahead and resource the Devastator and Escort Skiff in preparation for the super laser tech from our opponent, because we can traitorous that, and that could be pretty nice. Usually, when you're playing ECL Krennic Green, you're going to be a much more unit-heavy deck than a lot of the other control decks. And Viper Probe Droid is also one of the cards that you tend to play on turn 1 alongside, you know, things like, well, Inferno 4s and stuff like that. So Price on Your Head has a good chance of having a target, but it did not here. And I think that's okay. I'm actually going to go ahead and resource it, I think, at this point. I don't really see a reason to keep it in hand. I don't think it's going to have a target for a while. They're going to resupply, and we're going to play a super laser tech. And now it's really scary because they could traitorous our super laser tech. And if they do that, just like as I was saying earlier, it is basically game over. It is like super over. Hopefully they don't do that. They are going to play their Krennic. Okay. I think I'm just going to go ahead and deal a damage to Krennic and resource, essentially. Here we get to go ahead and resource, return a unit. It's basically an expensive resupply. And then we get to claim initiative. And then we get to go maul onto their Krennic. So we get to kill Krennic here, which is going to be super nice. And we are pretty far ahead here. Kill their Krennic. Krennic's down. Now we get to steal something if they decide to play something real scary. Relentless can come down on 9 resources, which is going to be pretty sweet. They're going to ECL something out. Let's see what they've got. A cargo jugs. The Mr. Jugs, huh? Okay. Yeah, you got a jug or not. Let's go ahead and claim initiative here. ECL is down, which is pretty relevant. And we have a reinforcement walker. Ooh, pretty nice. Traitorous is looking pretty bad, well, for a little while now. So let's go ahead and get rid of that thing. And I think we just go ahead and play a reinforcement walker and start healing up. We could also go super laser attack, ping the steadfast battalion, steal it. And then we play a, what, Yularen Shore Trooper? Okay, I don't mind that. Let's start with the super laser tech. They have 7 resources, which means they can get down like a Vader here. And if they do so, then I'm also not particularly scared. Like, we can just, you know, take the ambush and steal the Vader, which is fine as well. We can also, oh, they're gonna do it like that, huh? Interesting. I don't know kind of what's going on. I'm surprised they decided to do that. I guess they kind of lose out 1 damage, but they prevent us from drawing a card. Opponent is in the tank here. I feel like they have a Vader in hand, and they just don't want to use it on like my Yularen or whatever. Play a Shore Trooper. Let's see what you got, opponent. Don't really want to be passing with 7 resources in hand. That's definitely a weak play. I think the most scary thing they could play here is like a Vader. Maul wouldn't be too scary because we can just kill it. And that is exactly what they played. So we can steal the Maul? Yeah, I like stealing the Maul. Stealing the Maul seems pretty good here. We kill the Steadfast Battalion. And then we pass. And then we can get down our Relentless this turn if we would like. And now I'm not sure what they would want to do here. Usually these lists don't play Super Laser Blast, or if they do, it's like a one of. So I'm not really trying to play around that. I don't think that card's going to be particularly relevant in this situation. Darth Vader is a card that I expected to see for sure. And let's see what they get. They get an Inferno 4. All right. And they're going to probably kill my Palp. Yep. Makes sense. All this makes sense. Do I want to play a Reinforcement Walker? Probably. We probably have to play a Reinforcement Walker here. Just that we can start healing up a little bit. Let's go Reinforcement Walker and don't draw, hit their base. And then we pass. And we're not drawing great here. But we have a Reinforcement Walker, which can give us some nice healing. See what our opponent's got here. They play like a Relentless or something. I mean, we're in a tough spot. I'm not gonna lie here. We can go Relentless. We don't really have anything else. I resourced the Yularen because I expect our Yularen not to die, but maybe I should have resourced one of the Star Viper. I'm just worried if we draw too many like cheap things here, we're gonna be kind of like out of gas, and I'd rather have the double Star Viper in hand in case that happens. Of course, if our opponent has some massive things to play, then we are also in trouble in general, so. See what our opponent's got here. I assume you attack base. Wow. Did not expect that. Let's go ahead and not draw that. Heal up a little bit. Did not expect them to hit this reinforcement walker. They were pretty close to killing me, and if instead of they did that, I was at 20, and we get to play Relentless here. I mean, we are doing pretty well now. Like, they can't Overwhelming Barrage anymore, although they probably would have done that if they had it already. Avenger. Yeah, well, we'll defeat this. And we get to claim initiative here, and I guess we trade. Oof. Ooh. Finalizer is pretty good here. But I think we just go Overwhelming Barrage, just in case, because if they are able to kill my Relentless, it's pretty bad for us. So we go Relentless, kill Avenger. We're going to do 8-2. And then we have Traitorous and Star Viper. I guess I could have resourced the Traitorous, to be honest, over the Star Viper. They're playing their own Overwhelming Barrage, so we're going to go ahead and hit them for 10 now. And I guess they're playing a second Overwhelming Barrage. Oh, we just won. Cool. So I was thinking about the Finalizer there, and we could have played the Finalizer, and what that would have done is the Finalizer captures the Avenger, and the Relentless captures the Inferno Force. So we wipe their board. However, if they have like a Devastator, for example, which they could have had, then they kill the Finalizer, Avenger comes down again, and then we are pretty like brutally, wrecked. I guess Devastator doesn't kill the Finalizer, but they could have well, no. Finalizer probably would have been better there. Honestly, I was thinking Devastator was going to kill it because Devastator always kills it, but this is an 11-11. So yeah, actually, if we go Finalizer, we just take their Avenger, and then Relentless takes the Inferno 4, and then they, let's say, play a Devastator. I'm trying to think of any other card. Like Super Laser Blast doesn't work because we have Relentless on the battlefield. Unless they have like a 2-costed event, but that's pretty unlikely. So I think Finalizer would have been the nail in the coffin there for sure. Of course, like I think that was kind of like whatever. Like let's say they had a Devastator there, and we Overwhelming Barrage their Devastator or their Avenger plus their Inferno 4. Okay, well then we get to go and Finalizer the Devastator, which also works nicely. So debatable, I guess. And we have the Reinforcement Walker as well. But anyways, that's going to kind of wrap up this last game, guys. And we got to talk about Palp Green in the final thought. So what do we learn from Palp Green and Endless Legions, guys? This deck is actually pretty good. And I think that the problem with Endless Legions is that by the time you're getting to the point of 14 resources, and I've said this in my videos previously, you are already winning the game, or you could have already won the game. Like, there are a lot of situations there in those games where I was like, okay, we're going to try to get to Endless Legions, and we didn't even get it when we had like the 14 to 15 resources. It would have ended the game, sure, but I could have just saved my more powerful cards and deployed those instead of playing more ramp. Right? Like I would resource like a Dark Trooper or a Star Viper or a Yularen or a Shore Trooper, and then instead play like a Price on Your Head or a Resupply. And those cards are just not extremely impactful at that stage in the game. So instead of Endless Legions, this definitely should have been like probably another copy of Maul or Vader, and probably another copy of Reinforcement Walker or Devastator. I think that those cards are just in general a little bit more useful. I think the earlier stages of the game, we kind of have that covered. You could even potentially change out the Endless Legion for like another copy of Royal Guard, for example. But I think when we're considering Endless Legion, the only place that it's really, really good is in the control matchups, because generally against ramp, you kind of win by playing your Relentless, right? And you could definitely resource your earlier big plays and then just kind of wait until the late game and play at Endless Legions. But again, even then, where Endless Legions, you are going to get to 14 resources and it will be good. You can also just save your relentlesses in hand because they're not going to put a ton of pressure on you. And then you just drop a relentless and you drop haymaker after haymaker, and they can't really do too much against that. Anyways, like Endless Legions is definitely a win more type of card, and that's just not necessary. Overall, I mean, the deck is pretty similar, like your escort skiff, ambushing stuff, your phase 3 dark trooper, all this is great. I will say, if I were to play, you know, double green Palp ramp again, and I were to bring it to like a store list, and I wasn't trying to like slightly meme with like Endless Legions, what I would do is take out Endless Legions and Price on Your Head. I like Price on Your Head, but not in this list. And the reason being is we don't have ECL, and that's mainly because we were trying to reach these later stages, and we didn't have enough ambush to really take advantage of it, right? Because the way Price on Your Head becomes really good is you're able to kill their units. But if you're going like turn 1 Price on Your Head, turn 2 Super Laser Tech, then the jig is up, right? They know that they're going to try to kill your Price on Your Head with the super laser techs, and it kind of changes the whole dynamic of the game, and it really doesn't end up being all that great. So you can take out Price on Your Head and Endless Legions, and then you can fill in some more earlier game plays and probably some more reinforcement walkers and Vaders, or, and this is another option, you take out Endless Legions and put in another Maul and another Vader, or you could put in, you know, a couple more early game plays, and then you take out Command Center and you put in ECL. And you use Energy Conversion Lab with like Dark Troopers and Royal Guards and Super Laser Techs and Star Vipers to control the earlier game and then immediately skyrocket. Like if you go turn 1, Price on Your Head, turn 2, Super Laser Tech, ECL, you're suddenly at 5 resources, and then you can, you know, really accelerate into Palpatine, and that sets you up for, you know, Traitorous on the following turn, or, you know, whatever it is you want to do where you can kind of control the board even further. So just a couple thoughts, guys. Palp ramp was pretty sweet. We didn't actually get to use Endless Legions at all today. I mean, I've played, I don't know, 40 games in testing. Usually I do like a bunch of games when I'm playing it. I know some of you have been playing against me in Karabast these days, and you know how many games I run through because I don't record all of them. I usually do a little bit of testing beforehand and then play around it when I'm just having fun and having free time. But there are definitely some games where I got close and whoa, I'm just mad. I'm beating up my mic, but I got close and then I ended up not either drawing Endless Legions, or it just wasn't necessary and I finished the game and I was stalling on purpose. You saw that, or we just got overrun, and that did happen a couple of times. So let me know what you think, and hopefully you enjoy the double green Palp ramp. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll see you all for the next one.